Hello everyone, I hope you've all been having a great day so far. It's been a while since I've posted videos on this channel, and it's kind of funny looking back from the last video I posted to now, because it comedically contradicts how I feel about the same topic today, being Overwatch 2. Nothing about this video will be an original topic and has been discussed to death by hundreds of people. However, I just feel like I need to get my words out on something that I'm very passionate about and maybe hear others' opinions in the comments too, as I wonder how everyone is truly feeling about the game. I guess without any hesitation, I'm going to state the obvious. Overwatch 2 fucking sucks, bro. I know, right? It's an earth-shattering opinion, I must say. But I feel that Overwatch 2 sucks in a way that I'm just not used to in my history of playing team-based shooters. I'm not all that old, you can hear it in my voice, I'm like 20. I'm about to be 21. So I've played a lot of the modern mainstream titles that are in the first-person shooter genre, and not even first-person, just shooters in general. You know, I grew up on these games. The first game I ever really got into that was a shooter was Team Fortress 2, which, funnily enough, is like the closest game to Overwatch. But yeah, I grew up playing these games, and when I sit down and think about why I quit playing them in the first place, the biggest reason that comes to mind, for like all of them, like it's actually embarrassing, but for all of them, it always comes back to cheaters, typically. Now, of course, like, I was playing these as a young teen growing up, so I definitely had skill issues. I definitely wasn't a pro gamer in any sense. I was a dumb idiot teen. I still am at heart, but, you know, being that young and impressionable, it's easy to think that I just assumed that everyone better than me was a dirty cheater, because I sucked. I know myself, and I know I've said it hundreds of, probably thousands of times, without doubt, that I accused somebody of cheating that was just better than me. In like a CSGO lobby, in like a silver competitive game. It was, I mean, you get it though, right? I feel like everyone does that. But still, with all games, it reaches a point of discontent that you just can't play the game anymore. Especially when you know that the game, like, quite literally has scandals about cheaters. You know, as an example, PUBG, like, looking back on it, the game was fucking kind of shit. But, you know, it came out in early access, but, the game was shit. But what was even more shit was the amount of fucking cheaters connecting to US servers with, like, 400 ping and a Mandarin username hitting you across the map with a Car 98. Like, bruh. As I mentioned earlier, Team Fortress 2 and Counter-Strike, and I gave up with those games because fucking VAC anti-cheat is atrociously terrible. Especially in TF2, because that game has more cheaters and robots in it than fucking Detroit Become Human ever had. And that game was about fucking AI. It's so, like, if you've never fucking seen the absurdity that is TF2 cheating bots, never play the game. Like, I'm convinced that TF2 has the worst cheating problem, and that's a game that I've put the most amount of hours on my Steam account. Probably around 2,500 hours. Insanity. Anyways, this is all kind of off track on why I brought this up. But you would think a game like Overwatch 2 that, without a doubt, definitely has cheaters and probably has a cheating problem. And you would expect that to be the worst problem, except it isn't. I wish that was the only problem the game had, because fundamentally the game just sucks right now. And I'm losing all hope that it's gonna get any better.
And have some Lucy OOs. Oh yeah, one more thing.
So why am I so passionate about this game? Well, it's just simply a game that means a lot to me. I had my very first super successful video come from a parody video of another Overwatch video. My interest in YouTube really grew from Overwatch. And with that, I had some of the best gaming memories with my friends playing the game. It's something to this day that I just haven't been able to repeat that experience I had when we were playing Overwatch in 2016 to 2017. Like, I was so invested that when I first played the game on a friend's Xbox, that I taught myself how to work on fucking computers because I had weak computers growing up, and I figured out that if you put a graphics card in a computer, man, you can do whatever the hell you want. I bought my first ever graphics card, a GTX 750 Ti. I love that thing and I wish I still had it, but I bought it just because I had an absolute desire to play Overwatch. And when I finally got it on my computer, I was absolutely in love with the game. I got all my friends to play it. It was awesome. It was basically that game to me. The one that I protect and care about so much, even if I'm very critical of it. So if you would know anything about Overwatch roughly after year 2 of its launch, well, then you know that the game just started to fucking tank. There were many awful balance issues, frustrating like devs, like kind of mixed response from the dev team, just cringe metas, and just very bad toxicity. To say I would know everything about why the game failed would just be factually wrong. I'm not a super good player of Overwatch. In fact, while recording like the background gaming footage for this, I hit Diamond rank for my first time ever since Season 3 of original Overwatch, which me hitting Diamond was just a complete accident. I was just trying to record footage, but that's about where I'm at in the game. I have about the average knowledge of the game. I've always been a Platinum player typically. But it was this horrible era of Overwatch 1 where I just couldn't play the game anymore. None of my friends were having fun, and it was too frustrating. And, you know, it always felt weird to me that it wasn't an anti-cheat problem. I mean, there were cheaters, but, like, it wasn't necessarily the people that made me stop playing the game. It was more of the game itself. But when I heard that there was a sequel in the works, I was extremely skeptical, but I was excited at the possibility of being able to play the game that gave me that magic that I had all the way back in 2016, which, you know, we're in 2023, but God, that feels so long ago for me. What really changed my opinion on Overwatch 2 was when I played the game's closed beta. At least I think it was a closed beta. It was either closed or partially open. Either way, I was extremely excited and enjoyed the game so much that I decided that I would start making like videos of it again. I posted some shorts kind of like hyping up the game and, you know, getting people excited because I was excited. Which, as I mentioned earlier, that was the last like kind of content I ever did on this channel. But anyways, the beta just slapped. And, you know, there were issues and complaints I had, but surely they would be at an absolute minimum of problems when the game launched. But of course, when the game came out, issues arose, and God, were they terrible. Horrible connection issues, like you couldn't even log into the game, balance issues, many various random bugs. You couldn't even play, like, was it Bastion? And then there was May 2 that you couldn't even play, they had to lock the characters. It was a fucking nightmare. Like, you don't even have to have played the game to probably have heard of how bad it was. But either way, was the gameplay at least enjoyable? Well, to me, there were issues. There was very bad balance on some characters like Zarya at the start of the game's launch, but I felt pretty happy with the game. I played a lot of the game when it came out, and so did my friends. We were excited to get on and play the game, besides the issues, because it was just so fun for us. We were just expecting that they would get fixed quite fast since the problems were very obvious, and that we wouldn't have to wait a couple months for a patch. Excuse me from this point on, but I'm just honestly ranting about this because it's so fucking frustrating, but these goddamn fucking patch times, bro. There were so many problems at the launch of the game. Things that, unironically, could have likely been fixed very quickly, and yet it took them over a month to do a major patch and balance change, which didn't even do that much. And then guess what? They added more fucking problems. There were more problems with the balance patch and bug fixing patch. So we had to wait until the whole next season for a big update. And then when that season update finally came out, guess what? More fucking problems. And I shit you not that this cycle still exists to this day. But at least the game was enjoyable and nobody was having any major issues while playing the game, right? Well, fuck no, because you're about to get strapped into a kinky-ass BDSM dungeon and get fucked for the whole season with overly broken characters, frustrating metas, unfun roles. You're starting to notice a similarity, right? you see it. But even for someone like me who was able to sit through it, because I knew that the game was in early access, and that they said they would work on the balance and the bugs slowly, and that eventually, sometime soon, it'll get better. And so now we're here at modern day. Is the meta all that bad? It's not the worst. There are still characters and things still wrong. Like, I don't know about my opinion on it, because again, as I mentioned, I'm not like a god player, but I think playing support in general, though, just sucks. As many people say, it's like playing fucking Dead by Daylight, running away from a killer, because your ass is on display to all the tanks and fucking DPS, and you just suffer in that role. But at the very least right now, it's not like grossly terrible for a meta. It's playable. It's way better than just at the start of the game being pussy stomped by a fucking Zarya every goddamn match because Zarya's bubble cooldown was so insane. She was basically invincible. So, you know, you'd think I'd be excited about this. And, you know, I've got a funny story to tell you. But yes, I shit you not. In my personal opinion, I think fucking matchmaking is broken. Or at the very fucking least, unfair. To give you an idea of how these gaming sessions have been lately, like when I'm playing with my friends, almost every goddamn game we play, competitive or not, has the players on our side consisting of max platinum, lowest bronze, and you know who we always fucking face on the enemy team? Fucking master, grandmaster, or even fucking top 500 players. And the way that we know that they're not old top 500 or grandmaster players is they have rank tags next to their names, which is a Overwatch 2 feature. You couldn't get that in Overwatch 1. So without a doubt, you can't even argue that these people fell off. Like, yeah, maybe they did fall off since season 1, but at the very least, they had recently been those high skill tier ranks, which is within months, since like October, that they've had these ranks. And they had to end on that rank too. They had to end on that, because if you didn't end on it, you didn't get the title. And so you can imagine the mentality that we have going into every single fucking game. We always say to ourselves, why is it always us? Because that's what it fucking feels like playing Overwatch 2. Now, of course, all of this could be argued under skill issue claims, and you're absolutely right. They're just better than us, that's factual. But there's many reasons why I still think that's so dumb and frustrating. Removing all elements and being totally real with yourself, how do you suppose people get better at games? Well, the same answer everyone says at getting better at anything. You practice. It's a no-brainer, it's just logic. You just have to practice and learn and get better game experience to improve. But you see the issues with that, right? Like, you have to see it. What about new players, or players of lower skill levels? Can you imagine how absolutely grueling it is to simultaneously try to learn new characters or learn game sense when you're just being ran down by a fucking army of high-skilled players in every circumstance? Like, I get it, bro. Just get better. But you see the problem. It's just very frustrating to most players. That's why things like ranked systems and skill-based matchmaking exist. It's done to create a game environment that's best suited for you and your skill level, and to battle against each other for the best one to win. It's equal footing. But when you're in a skill bracket that's basically the average or below, and you're facing people at max tier, or at least very high, like top 5% of the entire game, you know, it's pain. But even then, I still feel you could possibly overlook that problem, because winning isn't necessarily important to fun. However, for those who actively play Overwatch 2, who know about the game, you know the real reason why this sucks. It's the Battle Pass, and its daily, weekly, and seasonal challenges that makes this painful. For those who don't know, with the move to the free-to-play business model, Blizzard basically decided they would focus the game around a Battle Pass and currency shop, removing all cases of loot boxes and gambling from their game, which, on paper, you know, I would argue is a very good thing. Loot boxes have always been predatory, so allowing people to guarantee they get what they paid for is a plus all around. Except, Blizzard fucked it up. Who would have guessed? When the game launched, you could earn skins from 3 ways. 1, watching Twitch streams to receive drops. 2, buy skins at an exorbitant price, at least in my opinion. I mean, come on, guys. Fucking $20 for a legendary skin? No other trinkets or cool features. $20 fucking dollars for, I don't know, fucking Sigma looking like a pirate. It's insane. Just comparing the prices to other games like Fortnite, Overwatch just gets shit on. You get so much more value for what you buy, not only money-wise, but you also just get more stuff. It's insane, and I just don't get how they price it so high. And the final way to earn skins is the Battle Pass. Looking at all the options of ways to earn stuff in Overwatch 2. The Battle Pass, I'll give them credit, is actually quite a good deal compared to actually buying flat-priced skins at these exorbitant cancer prices. $10 and you get a whole plethora of items. And considering you play the game, it's not a hard battle pass to complete, sort of. And originally there was controversy around how they didn't give any credits in the battle pass, but as of Season 3 right now, they actually give you enough credits to be able to purchase at least one legendary skin. Which is huge. That's good news. So overall, the battle pass isn't bad. It's good and quite affordable. But the problem with all of this, and it's the reason why I feel the game is just so fucking frustrating and toxic to play now, is to level up and do weeklies and shit, you have to win games. Every loss hurts a fuck ton more and gets you more frustrated because it just feels like you're wasting time. Especially if the match was a fucking steamroll, because it just gets you frustrated. Like you couldn't do anything and you need to win to complete the battle pass. And you get steamrolled all the time in Overwatch 2. That's just like part of the game. And on top of that, the game is just much more serious now in casual lobbies. Quick play is basically just diet competitive now, because people need to win. And then when you bring back the fact that matchmaking has been facing people up against higher, like significantly higher skill level, as well as the MMR system just being fucking trash, you see why this game just sucks right now. And, you know, rounding back to my mentality at the start of this video and this project, I haven't even noticed a single fucking cheater in this game ever since I started playing Overwatch 2. It just baffles me that it's the functionality of the game itself rather than cheaters. Like, cheaters are so rampant in multiplayer shooter games. And I just can't believe that this is actually not the problem of Overwatch 2 for the most part. The game to me just feels like a massive chore to play now. At least with the loot box system, you could get rewarded with a level and possibly a loot box from leveling up. But when you lose in this game, in Overwatch 2, you get nothing. It just feels like a slap in the face and leads everyone to being so much more frustrated. Now, as much as I don't want to fucking say this, to give Blizzard credit, they do appear to be trying to find new ways to improve on the game's fundamental issues. But it's unsure to me if it'll ever reach the point of magic that the original game gave me. And it's a shame because the game is fun. I feel like everyone who has played Overwatch 2, or just Overwatch in general, had fun playing the game at some point. Even besides all the issues. It's an innately fun shooter. There's not a game like it. And it's so possible that they could dedicate more resources to make this game great. People love these characters, people love the gameplay, and people especially love to watch it. The Overwatch League, while much smaller these days, is still quite huge and people love to watch it. People have their hearts in this game, and I think it's frustrating that updates and changes comes at a snail's pace, and not enough resources are being put into something that could so easily be improved on. And again, to give the developers some credit, I don't believe that they want the game to be like this. I mean, I would shit myself if they wanted this game to be like a fucking shitfest. But regardless, work needs to be done. And I'm sure that even if all of my opinions and feelings are bad, and maybe even wrong, there are still so many issues that people have with this game. It's well known that everyone, even the highest tier players in this community, do not enjoy the game that much right now. A lot of high tier players are actually considering retirement from the game in general. And that just, that sucks. Overwatch was a huge thing for me, and I still think it can be. I just hope that they seek improving the multiplayer of this game, as there's nothing really like it anymore. But who knows, I guess we'll see. Anyway, sorry for this random rant video, especially since it's been months since I last uploaded. If you guys have any opinions or feelings about Overwatch 2, or maybe even other games that you'd like to discuss in the comments, let me know. Anyways, thank you all for watching the video, and have a good rest of your day.